All right. So again, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today, Jim. We are very excited to share your story and your trajectory here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with our young people and adults all over the world. Jim, if you don't mind, could you tell us your first and last name, please?
Sure. My first name is James. The last name is Schwai, Schwai.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for
But
that.
I go by Jim.
Okay. All right. No worries. No worries. And then Jim, if you don't mind, what part of Milwaukee? You're from Milwaukee, right?
Right.
Okay.
Actually, started off on 52nd and Locust.
Okay. Okay. Right down the street from me. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, went to Sherman Street kindergarten,
Okay. Okay.
which is, on that corner there, and
Mm-hmm.
then to St. Catherine's Grade School for 4 years
Okay. Okay. Very
before
good.
we moved out to Wauwatosa.
Okay. All right. Very good. And then on that move to Wauwatosa, what high school middle school did you attend there in Wauwatosa?
In Wauwatosa, well, I attended Marquette High.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're still in the city.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, very good. Yeah, I'm familiar with Marquette. Um, so while at Marquette, naturally, when you're growing up as a kid, what really interests you? I mean, going from naturally the city of Milwaukee to Wauwatosa, but still going to school here, what interests you in the eighth grade, ninth grade? Were you involved in sports? What activities?
I was involved in sports, baseball,
Okay.
basketball, and then in high school, cross country.
Okay.
But I must admit, I never was a good cross country runner, but that 2.2 miles was just awful long.
That's quite a distance. It is. It is. And then, naturally that carried on into high school, while at Marquette, were there any extracurricular activities that you also were involved in? Any jobs that you had?
Actually, I had a job working for a company called A&A Manufacturing. I was playing golf one summer, and the owner of the company said, "Why are you playing golf when you should be working?" And I said, "I don't have a job." And he says, "You got one now."
Wow. Wow.
So this was on 12th and Pierce.
Okay.
And they made rubber covers for machinery, and my job was to spray the liquid rubber on them.
Okay.
And so all the covers were made during the first shift, and then I would come in and work from 3:30 to 5:30, spraying them.
Interesting.
Like
no, that's
three
good.
or four days.
3 or 4 days
a week. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, taught discipline. You're obviously there a number of days a week and working with adults. Were there many people your age in doing that job?
No, I was the only one.
That's fantastic. So after high school, what happened then? Did you go on to college?
Yeah, I went on to Purdue
Really?
University.
Okay.
Took up engineering.
Okay.
Specifically industrial engineering. I enjoyed the manufacturing aspects and the design aspects, and thoroughly enjoyed it there. Was involved with intramural sports down there, but nothing on let's just say a collegiate level. This was more through the dorms or the fraternity.
Yeah, I understand. No, so Purdue, I mean, obviously is a well-known university, one of the most recognized universities, I would say, in the world, and to have that experience was fantastic. I could imagine it was a good time for you. Engineering was the focus right away when you went in, or you kind of jumped around a little bit.
No, after the first year, I was pretty well convinced that's what I wanted to do. It was what type of engineering I was going to go into. I just couldn't think of being a civil engineer and working with concrete all the time. So I looked into industrial engineering.
That's awesome. Now, after college, you got your degree. Did you go back and start working right away?
Yes, I worked took a job at Allen Bradley.
Okay, very good.
They're on 2nd and Greenfield.
That's right. That's right.
Worked there for 15 years.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. And then, 15 years, obviously you learned a lot. What was your position there?
At the end, I was involved with, at the time it was called data processing. I was designing the manufacturing systems, designing manufacturing using the computer.
Okay, 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 very good. So 15 years, you obviously you've learned a lot. What took you away? Where'd you go after that?
After that, I got an offer at Briggs and Stratton.
Okay, okay, very good.
And so I went there for another 15 years.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and what was out of that process, obviously going from one company to the next, what are some things that you took away there? How were you able to, transition after making such a commitment? What are some of those highlights that you can remember?
I think there's probably two words that come to mind. One is to have a vision of what you want to be or what you want to do, but then to constantly assess whether or not you've got the wherefore to do it. Do you have the education, the mental aptitude to do it? Everybody cannot be an engineer. Everybody, cannot, write poetry. But we have to sit back and assess what our talents are, and then think of ourselves and say, well, given that, what would I like to do? What's my vision?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. Well, that's excellent. And then what is your vision? You've worked at those two companies. What happened after that? Did you decide to?
Well, after that, we had a parting of ways at Briggs and Stratton. There was quite a few. There was a little upheaval going on at the time, and that's where I left,
mm-hmm.
and then I got involved with buying and selling businesses.
Mm. Very good.
And I did that up to about 3-4 years ago.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. That's excellent. And businesses, and what type of businesses were they? Specific to some of the practices you learned at Briggs and Stratton, some automation.
They were manufacturing businesses, distribution, some service industries, a little retail. We didn't do bars and restaurants because it's just a difficult thing. You ask for their financials and they bring out a napkin with the numbers on.
I understand what you mean. Yes, sir. I mean, yeah, that's where it starts, but it has to get a little more detail. That's good. That's
so
good.
From there, and I think this is where I am today, is looking at how can I take all this background and apply it in two areas. One is working with yourself and Pep Nation, and the second thing is working in Central America, specifically Belize, where we've been going there since 2005. Okay. And there we're talking about growing food and getting clean water. Those are the two major issues.
That's right. That's right. And very much so, two major issues here as well. You're exactly right. We appreciate that effort and the willingness to give back, and it's we all need it. Any those were very good points to give to the people. Any advice for these young people seeking to move from high school to college, or even go into manufacturing? Some of these jobs that exist in various industries that are labor intensive.
Yeah. Just a couple comments relative to that, Brandon. First, it's necessary to graduate from high school with decent grades.
That's right.
I mean, because you can then either go on to a 2-year program or 4-year program. I was having my teeth cleaned about 3 weeks ago, and I was talking to the dental hygienist who just graduated 10 months ago from MATC.
Okay.
You know what she makes a year?
Probably about $60,000.
$60,000 to $80,000 a year.
Yes, sir.
And but she had to get into programs. She had to do a lot of studying. But I mean, wow, what a fantastic opportunity. And I think it's just not college.
Right.
You know, I think if I ever went back again, I probably would be an electrician.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And start my own company and be filthy rich by now.
That's right.
But
That's right.
as compared to working for a large corporate America.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I think that the point is you've got to study, you've got to know where you're going, you got to continue assessing yourself, and given that framework, you will succeed.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, Jim, this is fantastic. Again, I keep saying fantastic. I guess that's my word of the day. And we really appreciate you being a part of our journey. And I hope that everyone
thoroughly enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks, Gordon.